one of the most effective ways to improve customer service is to create an entrepreneurial environment in your organization. Let me illustrate. One evening I went to the movies with my brother. We came out at 9:45 at night, and we've been going to movies together ever since we were little kids. We just love films. And do you know how you feel you should be sensible and go back to the hotel? But you're having such a good time, let's squeeze in one more movie. 10 minutes before, 2 blocks down the street, a high-action film had just started. As you know, with high action, it doesn't really matter if you miss the beginning. We're racing down the street, brother's explaining the storyline to me, and we get there exactly 15 minutes after the movie starts. I said to the cashier, I know we're late, but we want to come in, 2 tickets. She said, you can't, I closed the till. I said, well, put the money in the till tomorrow. No, not once we close the till. Now, I'm a great believer, if you don't like the first answer you get, just talk to somebody else. So we went to the guy who was actually taking the tickets. I said, I know we're late, but we really want to come in. Put the money in the till tomorrow. Let us in free. Too big a decision, he calls the manager. By now, we've missed 20 minutes of this movie, and suddenly we want to see this movie more than we want to see our own mother. I go through the choices. The manager says, no, not once we close the till. We don't let in people like you. As I was walking out, I turned around and said, you know, it's very obvious none of you here own this business. Because the #1 key point in business, if people want to give you money, you take it. Now, owning the business does not mean your name is on the door. Owning the business is a commitment, a philosophy, an attitude. In today's competitive business environment, we realize a profit by meeting our customers' needs. Not long ago, I was selected to speak for American Express. This was part of their Quality University. And at lunchtime, I had dinner with one of the managers. He said 2 months before, he'd gone to a big mall to buy some chocolates to give to his staff as a prize for a project they finished. 2 candy stores exactly opposite. Put his head in the first one and said, excuse me, do you accept American Express? They said yes. So went in, made his purchases, walked over, put them on the counter, and noticed although they accept American Express, they did not display it on the till. They had MasterCard and Visa. He turned around, looked exactly opposite, and saw across the mall the other candy store displayed the American Express symbol. He said, you do understand I work for American Express? You take our card, but you don't display it and your competition does. I have to go over there. Young man, about 17, just wiping down the counter, stocking the shelves, said, sir, hold on. He ran across the mall to the other candy store. He picked up an application for American Express. He ran back, he cut out the logo, stuck it on the till and said, is that good enough? You see, entrepreneurial employees take the initiative. I don't know what made that young man do it, but that's the attitude we have to develop in our people. For years, I watched people give out business cards. And I realized if other people are giving out 1, I should give out 3. 1 for you, and 2 for the next 2 people you could refer to me. Entrepreneurial employees take the initiative and go beyond their competition. The National Speakers Association had a winter workshop in a large convention hotel. I was on the board of directors, and 6 of us adjourned to the coffee shop to continue our deliberations. Now, you understand we weren't trying to be awkward, but no one wanted anything exactly as it was presented on the menu. Nobody wanted the same as anybody else, and being speakers, we were yakking the entire time. At the end of the meal, I said to the waitress, my dear, this is going to be worth your while. These guys are big tippers. And she said something I've never forgotten. She said, I'm not being nice to you for a tip. I don't care if you don't give me a tip. I just feel if we give your group good service, if you come back to our city another year, you'll bring your business back to our hotel and not the competition. You see, entrepreneurial employees take ownership. They act as if their name were on the door. Although leadership comes from the top down, as with the waitress, it also comes from the bottom up. Have you ever had the experience where you call a company, you're put on hold, transferred, put on hold, transferred, put on hold, somebody says, oh, someone will get back to you in the morning. And then 3 days later, with no call, you start the process again. One CEO from one of the largest companies in North America wanted to teach his employees entrepreneurial thinking. And he came out with a very simple rule. Whoever picks up the phone owns the problem. Do you know I called one company 13 times? And 13 times I heard, he's not at his desk, he's not at his desk, he's not at his desk. I said, then drag the desk to where he is. Do you realize how frustrating some people are to do business with? You see, owning the problem does not mean solving the problem. It means entrepreneurial employees take responsibility, even if they are not actually responsible for solving the problem. Entrepreneurial employees accept responsibility. Now, how do we get our people to do this? One of the best ways is to let them learn from their own experience. When I present seminars in companies, I always ask the audience to tell me some of their good or bad customer service stories. Isn't it sad that we can usually think of bad stories first? A woman in a seminar told me she went to a store to buy a leotard for her child. She took it home, hadn't taken it out of the packet, but found it was the wrong size. She took it back the next day and said to the assistant, can I change it for a different size? Guy says, what do you mean? You don't even know what size your own kid is? Then she made another purchase and made the mistake of putting the next day's date on the check. He got a pen, threw it across the